We are living in an era of community journalism and public opinions where everyone assumes that they have a right to every matter that comes their way. Initially, I had been trapped by the uncoordinated noise ingrained with prejudice and ignorance directed towards a one pastor Bujingo and Susan Makula. Well, I should put it on record that my worst experience in life was the day I halted my own relationship with the mother of my daughter Daphne. People judged us the way they felt like, and I chose never to explain myself to everyone except that person whom we shared everything except brains. It's an open secret that marriage can literally become a stinking open grave that can swallow both parties if not properly dealt with. It's Bujingo who personally understands whatever happened inside his house, and that could be the push factor to whatever he chose to do. Vows talk about a lifetime together, a life of unwavering loyalty, one of getting old together through good and bad times, but as years pass by, that spark of love turns into hell. I'm not locally to start acting like Jesus is my sibling, but I must tell everyone around me that it's our responsibility to be happy on earth as we wait for life in our unknown destination. Bujingo did no crime to seek happiness other than living a pretentious life in the name of God and his son Jesus, who presumably wish us happiness. It's on record that many killings and other crimes have happened between persons who live together in the name of for better for worse. I'm not trying to judge or support anyone at the expense of the other, but the truth is that the world would be a better place if we all chose peace. The peace that we preach in communities and places of worship must start in our homes. I don't believe that it would be great for a couple to live a pretentious life, to appear God and the naysayers who are never victims of that happen between lovers. I avoid indulging Susan Makula in my talk because she has already been wrongly judged. There is a person watching my opinion who is already asserting that Makula lured the pastor. Truth of the matter is that we get spouses from churches, our places of work and our communities. It would indeed sound a bizarre if Bujingo picked a spouse from a shrine. All in all, the younger woman is a consented adult who was convinced by another adult and she accepted. It's silly for us to assume that she did wrong to accept a man who promised to protect her. All we need to know, if Bujingo and Makula have annoyed you, don't act like as if you are God's personal assistant to start judging them. Simply ask God to intervene in their relationship other than acting like a soccer. If Bujingo died in a pretentious marriage, we would all blame him for not walking away. If it was Ted who chose to walk away, the public would support her just like you did for Anne Kansime, Rema Namakula, Princess Komuntale, late Princess Diana, and many others. And actually, this is mean towards men who equally suffer just like women. Bujingo had an option to build a network of extramarital affairs, but he chose peace, and I believe that is a responsible move from an adult. Where did Bujingo go wrong? The disgruntled man of God had no moral authority to undress then vulnerable mother Teddy on the pulpit and on other public platforms. Right, Teddy nearly did the same, but ideally we expected better from Bujingo, who nearly failed to control his emotions, reminding us how the lady grappled with severe fistula was the most irresponsible move that was taken by an adult who has a moral right to protect the dignity of any woman. And I think Bujingo should have apologized for his senseless utterances. In just a similar way, Teddy acted funny when she chose to liaise with Bujingo's rival ministries to rally for support. Ideally, with church fights known to everyone, Such a move would be an opportunity to threaten Bujingo's hard-built ministry. Above all, Ted should have wiped her jolly tears to let the man go for the benefit of both parties. One of the most obvious indicators that love is gone is the feeling of contentment or relief when your partner is absent. This is vivid in Bujingo's life. Divorce or not, Bujingo found peace. Wedding rings don't directly have any historical religious significance, though there are many modern spiritual interpretations to their usage. Historians believe that a wedding ring originated from very old Roman traditions prior to Christianity. During the 1st century, it was very commonplace for the rich and wealthy to wear multiple rings to show their status and rank in society. My point is that with or without a ring, anyone can marry. It is not a crime to buy a ring and put it on anyone. Even when their marriage is not legalized, there is no single law that stops Bujingo and Makula from living a happy life, sleeping in the same house, having sex and producing children. Rings, weddings, laws are things to do with inheritance, as concocted by the yesteryear's feudal England during the medieval period. What's the law and marriage saying? In Uganda, the marriageable age under the Marriage Act is 21 years and above. Any person under age of 18 is considered a minor with no capacity to contract a marriage. Article 31, Section 1 of the Constitution of Uganda provides that a man and a woman are entitled to marry only if they are each of the age of 18 years and above and are entitled at that age to found a family and to equal rights at and in marriage, during marriage, and at its dissolution. Ugandan law does not recognize as married parties who hold themselves out to the world as husband and wife, but many people live life like that and they are happy. Marriage must be contracted in one of the prescribed forms: church marriage, Mohammedan marriage, Hindu marriage, civil or customary marriage. However, the same law doesn't stop anyone from happily relating with men or women they like. Bujingo is committing adultery, but it's silly anyway. According to the Penal Code Article 154, any man who commits adultery, try to read the act further, may be imprisoned for 12 months and be required to pay a fine of 200 Ugandan shillings, nusu bibili. We all need to understand that Bujingo's saga is still subject to divorce, which was already filed, though the other party has adamantly refused to accept. The Divorce Act insists that a husband or wife may apply by petition to the court for a judicial separation on the ground of cruelty, adultery, or desertion. Much as I would have loved to see Teddy and Bujingo stay together, their relationship is openly a telltale of irreconcilable desertion, and the man clearly moved on. What does the Bible say? When you open Luke 16, verse 18, Jesus said that everyone who divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery, and he who marries a woman divorced from her husband commits adultery. When you open Matthew 5, verse 32, Jesus says again, "But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife except on the ground of sexual immorality makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery." Is Bujingo committing adultery? All in all, we are all human beings. This precedent should help us understand that marriage is beyond sex, properties, etc. The ultimate goal is happiness and love. Let's learn that if it fails, we should always let it go as soon as we can so that we don't hurt the children and the public. If you assume that marriage is a permit to stress others, your husband could be someone's future husband, and the reverse is true. Wama Bujingo, eat your makula in peace and find solace in your heart to forgive the children and your wife.